Hey, how's it going, Arthur? My name is Byron. I spoke to you over the phone just a few moments ago about sending this video over. I'm just now realizing that I spoke to you twice today. I had no idea that you were the owner of Grade A Fence Company and Cactus Fence and Construction. I'm just now realizing that, which I find like quite funny that I didn't realize it. But this video is just to give you some tips and tricks, like I said over the phone, on some things you could be doing to improve your online presence. As you know, having an online presence in 2023 is very important for a business. It's very critical, actually, right? We're in a digital age now. And what I mean by digital age is that most businesses are promoting, advertising, and marketing themselves on the internet. So, with that being said, just wanted to give you some tips and tricks on some ways that you can improve your online presence even more, right? So, when your future customers are looking for fencing services in the greater Houston area, they're typically coming into Google and putting these specific key phrases in or keywords, like most people, right? When most people are looking for solutions to a problem, they tend to come into Google. So your potential fencing customers will come into Google, use this specific key phrase, which is fence installation. They'll hit search, and the first thing that typically pops up, or the first thing that most people typically see when a page opens, is something called the Google Ads section. And this is this section right here. And believe it or not, a lot of businesses are coming into Google now and they're paying to have these ads put up here. And the beauty of this section is that you're only ever charged when someone clicks on it. So, in order for Texas Fence Company to be charged, someone would have to click on it. So, if I were to click on this button, that's the only time that Texas Fence Company or TexasFence.com will be charged. Right below the ad section is called the Google Maps section. Right below the Google Maps section is called the organic or SEO section. And these are the three main ways that most businesses are bringing in customers now. But the whole goal is to have you within this top ad spot right here. And we can make that happen by providing you with a really good landing page that's going to convert traffic into phone calls, form submissions, or a combination of the two. And there's a like few different tools that we tend to use to make this whole operation possible of getting you into this top ad spot. The first tool that we typically use is called Google Keyword Planner, and it's where we go to see how much volume a certain keyword generates per month. As you can see, fence installation in Houston, or the greater Houston area, I should say, because I'm targeting the entire Houston DMA. I'm targeting cities such as Spring, Katy, Sugarland, Pasadena, Pearland, and so on. So as you can see, fence installation in the greater Houston area is being searched between 100 to 1,000 times per month. Also, another cool thing about this tool is that it allows us to see other related key phrases or keywords that are also being searched as it pertains to fencing services in the Houston area or the greater Houston area. As you can see, fence company near me is being searched between 1,000 to 10,000 times per month. Fence installation near me, fence contractors, chain link fence installation, vinyl fence calls, and so on. So as you can see, these are like thousands of searches as it pertains to fencing companies being looked for in the Houston area. But I want to focus back on fence installation. As you can see, fence installation, like I told you earlier, is being searched between 100 to 1,000 times per month in the greater Houston area. The cost per click is about $4.68. What I mean by cost per click is that anytime someone goes into Google and they use this specific key phrase, which is fence installation. So anytime someone goes into Google, use this specific key phrase, hit search, and an ad pops up, and they click on that ad, the person who's running that ad will be charged $4.68. That's what the cost per click means. Keep in mind that a decent conversion rate for paid ads is about 10%. What that typically means is that 10% of the people who's actually clicking on your ad is going to be the people who are filling out forms on your landing page, and they're going to be the people who are giving you phone calls, telling you to come out to their home, or whatever the case may be, and provide a fencing service. So, if you were to try to land fencing jobs in Houston, you can be landing them for about $46.80. Because keep in mind, I told you that a decent conversion rate for paid ads is about $46.80. And if you were to run an ad for fence installation, you could be getting jobs for $46.80 per lead. Another decent tool that I like to use is called SpyFu, and it's where we go to spy on our competition. The only thing you have to do is you put your competition's URL in, which is texasfence.com, hit search, and what this does is it brings up your opponent's stats and it tells us how our opponent is performing as it pertains to running ads. They're paying for 5 keywords. They're only getting 11 clicks on their ad, which is pretty bad. It's pretty low. And their ad budget is only $101, which this number should be way higher because the higher it is, the more clicks you get, basically. So you want to make sure that this number is typically higher. Right below this section right here is where we can also see who else in the area is running ads. That's another like nice and cool thing about this tool is that it allows us to see what other like fencing company in the Houston area is also running ads. So these are some of the companies who's also running ads in the greater Houston area. Another nice thing about this tool is that it allows us to see what other specific key phrases or keywords that are generating a lot of clicks. And you can take some of these keywords and add them into your ad campaign if you were so choose to run ads. Now, there's like 3 different categories that Google tends to grade its ads campaign by. It's also called a quality score. So Google has a quality score that it breaks down their ads into. They break them down into 3 categories, right? The first category that Google tends to grade its ads by is called ad relevance. What ad relevance typically means is that does this specific key phrase or keyword, which is fence installation, does it match what's in your headline? So whatever you search up into the Google search engine right here has to match what's in what's known as an ad headline. This is called an ad headline. If it doesn't, chances are Google will deduct points from you, and when it deducts points from your ad won't show up on page 1. It might show up at the bottom of page 1. Don't get me wrong, but 9 times out of 10 it might show up on page 2. And when it shows up on page 2 or at the bottom of page 1, people are not seeing it. And if they're not seeing it, no one's clicking on it. And if no one's clicking on it, you're not generating any revenue or profit. The second thing that Google tends to grade its ads by is called click-through rate. And what click-through rate typically means is how often is someone clicking your ad versus your opponent. And in order to have a good click-through rate, you must have something called silent extensions. These are known as silent extensions right here. And silent extensions are where most businesses go to list the type of services that they have. So you want to list here that you do fence repair, fence installation, fence replacement, chain link fence repair, wood fence repair, or whatever the case may be. You want to give the customers as much information as possible as it pertains to what type of services that you do. You also want to use silent extensions for your specific location. So if you work in Katy, you work in Sugarland, if you work in Pasadena, Pearland, whatever the case may be, you want to use silent extensions to give potential customers your locations of work. You also want to use silent extensions for the if you have multiple phone numbers, shall I say. So if you have multiple offices around the city of Houston and surrounding areas, you want to put your phone numbers or office phone numbers in these silent extensions right here as well. Basically, you want to give your potential customers as much information as possible about your day-to-day operations while using silent extensions. These are what silent extensions are basically for. And the last and most important thing, this is the most important thing that Google grades its ad campaigns by, and it's called landing page. It's called a landing page, right? And Google likes for landing pages to have specific like things. And this right here is an example of a landing page that we typically use for a client. It's not the actual landing page, but it's something close to it. And we use this landing page because number one, it's high quality. It converts really well. We've seen a ton of revenue being generated from a landing page such as this one or something related to this one. But Google likes for landing pages to have something called call of action. What I mean by call of action is that you see we have a phone number right here. We have a phone number right here. We have a contact us button right here. We have a get quote form where potential customers can come and fill out quotes or come and fill out forms. And we have 2 more get quote buttons right here. And we have an email us button right here. So these are like at least 7 specific calls of action that we told the customers to how they can reach us. And the reason why you want to have as many calls of action as possible, because like I just said, you want to notify the customers and tell them that contact us immediately and inquire about our service, right? That's what call of action typically is. It's just you listing as many different ways that potential customers can contact you. Another thing that Google tends to like for landing pages to have is called keyword phrases. What I mean by keyword phrases is things such as fence installation, fence repair, fence replacements, and so on. You want to have keyword phrases within your landing pages because most of the time, or 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the exact same thing that most potential customers are looking for when they're looking for like specific fencing companies within the area. So they're going to come into Google. They're going to look for fence installation. They're going to use words such as fence repair. They're going to use words such as fence replacements and so on. So you want to make sure that you have as many keyword phrases within your landing page. And you want to make sure it's one of the first thing that most people see, like our landing pages has. You see how we have fence installation in Houston, in Austin. But if you were to run one, you're to probably say fence installation in Houston, right? So you want to make sure that you have good keyword phrases within your landing page. You also want to make sure that your landing page is mobile responsive. What I mean by mobile responsive is that does it load up pretty fast on mobile devices such as iPads, iPhones, Androids, Kindles, and so on. If your landing page isn't loading up pretty fast on mobile devices, chances are no one's really visiting your landing page. And when no one visits your landing page, you're not going to bring in any clients, right? So, with that being said, I just laid out everything that will make or break your ad campaign. So, you want to make sure that you have good ad relevance. You want to make sure that you have good click through rate. And you want to make sure that your landing page, which is most important, has multiple calls of action, specific key phrases and keywords, and that it's mobile responsive. If you were to do all of these things correctly, chances are you'll be bringing in a substantial amount of revenue. If this is something that you're interested in, I'll be happy to sit down, have a talk with you. You can call me at 832-388-7490. Have a great day.